I've been chatting with several deaf parents and dorm advisors, like RAs, and interestingly enough, all of their children were girls. And they were often caught at night under the covers texting or playing on the internet. And the girls would often have little discussions at night because they felt pressured, they were scared, they wanted to be included in the conversation, they didn't want their friends to shut them out. And in female development, it's very normal for a strong emphasis to be placed on friendships and relationships. Because, like I said, they're scared of being shut out of the conversation. It's sort of a funny thing that girls do. And girls are sometimes involved with cyberbullying. Some of them will be. And parents often have no idea what's happening. And this follows the research that found that girls who are involved in cyberbullying often use various websites like AOL or IM, to do their bullying. And girls are actually twice as likely as boys to be a part of cyberbullying. And boys are different. They don't use IM or AOL. I mean, some do, but to a lesser extent. Their cyberbullying is done through games. Games where they can make up a character and they'll feel more free because no one knows who is managing that character. So that's how they do their bullying, and they also steal passwords as well. Parents or people who are involved with children's education should not ignore this problem. There are children and we should take care of them. They need our help. Many adults growing up did not have the internet, so we don't have an experience of, oh, I know this is how my parents taught me, so this is how I'm going to teach my parents. This is a new problem that we're facing. And we can't just say, oh, this isn't my issue, I'm not going to get involved in it. We have to be involved. Just like the school system teaches about sex, then we have to teach our children about internet. Just like we teach them about driving and alcohol safety, we have to teach our children about the internet. And it can't just be basic computer skills, how to use the internet, how to use the computer. We also have to be involved in their education about internet safety and the rules of the road, so to speak. There are many things that parents can do to help with this. Many psychologists, social workers, and counselors suggest that the family computer should not be in a child's room. It should be in some sort of a public space, like the living room or the office, somewhere where the parents can see it. And if you notice that every time you enter the room and your child closes down the tabs, that could be a little warning sign. Sometimes it'll just be a private conversation between friends, but if it happens all the time, it could be a red flag. Another suggestion that parents can do is limit the daily use of the internet. Usually 1 hour is plenty of time. I understand if your child needs to do research for homework, they may need more than 1 hour. But if they're just talking with their friends or playing games, 1 hour is plenty of time. If your child has already had problems with cyberbullying, you may be concerned about their internet use, and you can install some software. The goal of installing the software should not be to catch your child. It should be to make sure that if they meet someone on the internet, that they don't meet them in person because that can be dangerous. And if your child is involved with cyberbullying or something that's not right, you can have an honest discussion with them and say, these are some things I've been noticing, and you can have a safe conversation about IM and AOL and the various sites they've been using. And sometimes that conversation is enough to change their behavior. Here are some tips for cyberbullying. Sometimes the cyberbullying will be physical threats like I'm going to kill you or I'm going to hurt your family. And in that case, you should tell the police. And sometimes the internet provider can go through the internet and find out who sent that threat. If it's not a threat, and if it's just some rude remark, it's something like sadistic, just some mean sentences, it's pretty, you can just ignore it. Oftentimes when you ignore that rude comment, that bully will just give up and leave you alone. Because the point of that comment is to get a reaction from you. So if you decide to respond to that and you're trying to, defend yourself, or maybe you're just bullying them back, it will often make the situation worse. So it's best to just ignore it. You can block an email, or if you have a vlog or blog, you can moderate the comments. You can kind of screen them out and get rid of the ones that aren't related to the blog or that are rude. You can use your own judgment to see which comments should go. Sometimes when people make a rude comment on your vlog, your instinct will be, I'm never going to make a vlog again. But really that gives the power back to the bully. That's sort of what they wanted. So DeafRead is a wonderful place to introduce children to internet safety. Parents and educators alike can use DeafRead to teach their children about how to use the internet. For example, you can find your favorite website or something, maybe something the children will enjoy, like a funny video or something, and you can go through the comment section and see this one's nice, this one's not nice, and your children can notice what is appropriate or not. They may want to make their own comment, and it's best that they do that with your permission. It's not to check their English skills or anything, it's just to make sure that they aren't being rude. If your child wants to make their own blog or vlog, that's great. I say let them do it. It's a wonderful opportunity for them. But it should be with your involvement and your supervision. Sometimes the comments will be inappropriate, so you should go through the comment section and get rid of the ones that aren't nice. Some of the comments your child may not understand yet, so later on they can see those comments, but at that time it's best to just teach them, or just to get rid of them. And you can have open discussions with your child later about what is appropriate and what is not in those comments. Some comments may be just a simple disagreement with their vlog, and it's not really bullying. And that's a good discussion to have with your child about the difference between simple disagreements and cyberbullying. As I said before, we did not grow up with the internet. For us, it might be too late to change our behavior, but for our children and the future generations, we should take this opportunity to make things different for them and make it better for them.